Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Go Battling and all of those special cups that have made Chansey a really huge deal. So we're gonna talk about Evolution Cup right now because it is the one that we're having right now running, and Chansey is a really huge deal. Chansey is a heavily invested Excel monster that relies on its bulk to time out opponents. Today we will talk about Chansey and how to deal with it in a very interesting video, so that you do not want to miss it at all and you want to learn all the ways that will bring you to a victorious battle against a Chansey team. If you have watched my previous Evolution Cup videos, then you already know that I do not showcase the Chansey battles, as they are very time consuming and makes no sense to hit a goal for 2 minutes straight, perhaps 3 minutes if they start blocking those moves that I throw at them. Personally, I hate Chansey. Perhaps I say this because I still do not own one, but to be honest, I do not like it when the opponent has a Chansey, so I do not want to be that opponent, at least in the near future, and I really hate Chansey. Yeah, that's it, that's the tweet. Evolution Cup allows access to a bunch of good spammy options, and that makes Chansey teams even easier and even better to sign. Not only they have a time-consuming team, but you do as well when you do not know it at all. You're running something like a Dusclops, Silo, as you can see over here, something like a Machoke, and all of those Pokemon require a lot of spammy moves, and that is gonna be a very time consuming thing that your opponent will take advantage of, and Chansey will sign even more. Worry not though, as I'm here to help you with today's video to find some really nice and solid solutions for fighting against Chansey. The best solution that I have for you is gonna be Vigoroth. Vigoroth, unlike Machoke, doesn't get super effective damage from those and headbutts, while also can counter down a lot of HP out of the Chansey, and you also have the spammy Body Slam to really rely on that move to do some really heavy damage to the Chansey. So overall, this is gonna be a very good strategy with the Vigoroth, but your opponent can still take advantage of the fact that they are gonna require a lot of time for you to finish it off, and of course those Body Slams can really chuck a really nice time out of the total battle time that you can get out of the total 5 minutes. So Chansey can still do a lot of work, but we're gonna get there in a while, because their main key problem is gonna be that they want to stall the match. So what can you do about that? Well, you can stall as well. I have a team here with Shadow Silo, Shadow Dusclops, and Hakamo O. All those Pokemons are gonna be pretty meta defining for the meta of Evolution Cup, but also you're gonna see that they are pretty spammy. What I want to do here is to, most of the times when I'm facing a Chansey, I'm pretty sure what their line can be. Whenever I see a Chansey at the back, most likely they're gonna pair it up with either a debuffer, or they're just gonna go ahead and use it with a spammy team, or even with Vigoroth at the back having an ABB team, meaning that the other two options might be a little bit weaker than Chansey is, and I can take advantage of that. What I want to do is to feign down at least one of the other two Pokemon and then rely on the time's up scenario. They want to reach there for sure, but what they have to do is to get in there with their Pokemon, be left at the red with 1 HP perhaps, and then bail out of there so that they can have the time's up message towards their advantage. If you can play it like them, then you have a chance to win as well. So having my Silo over there, and I see that I have a little bit of HP left, I'm not gonna stay in there. I will aggressively switch out to my Dusclops, which is gonna be another great answer to the entire meta, and so whatever they bring in, or even if they stay in with a Chansey, I will still have my Silo at the back with a little bit amount of HP. I don't care how much HP, I I just want to be alive, so that when the time's up message pops up, I can have the upper hand with my Pokemon in total being alive towards my opponent. Because if you have more alive Pokemon than your opponent does, well, you're gonna be on a very better spot, on a much better spot than your opponent, and you're gonna get the instant victory having more Pokemon than your opponent. If you happen to have the same amount of Pokemon alive, let's say that you have 2 Pokemon alive and your opponent has 2 Pokemon alive, well, the Pokemon with the most HP left fighting live at that moment will get the victory for its trainer. So here is another cool tip that you can use. Stay in with your Sileo and your Dusclops, be left with 1 HP, switch them out, and then go in with a Hakamo full HP, and you're gonna get immediately that victory if the time's up message after the 5-minute battle time span passes through, and you're gonna be able to win the entire thing. So here is another cool strategy. They want to stall, you can stall as well. Do not be afraid to switch out. Just go ahead and switch out all the time when you're getting lower and lower on your HP levels. Good Chansey trainers are gonna leave their chances for the end game because they do not want to reveal their chance immediately. If you see the chance of the opponent coming up right on the start of the battle, then you have a very good chance. See? Yeah, that was a pretty nice pun, but anyways, then you have a very good chance that you can encounter that team effectively with the way that I just told you. Preserve your HP levels, just be sure that you have, I don't care how much HP, just be sure that you have your Pokemon alive for that end game time's up message. So what you have to do is to either use a Vigoroth or play their game. They stall, you stall as well, and you can get that victory on the long term of the battle. So those are gonna be my tips, and of course the switch teams that you can use to utilize that cooldown timer. Your opponent will be relying on that as well, but you can for sure time up your opponent before they do. So I have three tips for you. One is to use a Vigoroth or a Machoke, but I prefer Vigoroth because of the fact that Zen Headbutt does super effective damage to the Machoke, or use your Sileo, your Dusclops and other stuff to out-spam your opponent. Just preserve your HP levels for the end game, and of course the number 3 tip is to switch all the time to be ahead of your opponent and use Pokemon like this that I have on the left of your screen, because they're gonna be some of the best solutions overall for the entire meta of Evolution Cup. So that's all for now, trainers, and what I want to talk about now is gonna be about a Chansey of your own. If you happen to have a Chansey, well, just use it. Just go in there with your Chansey against the opposing Chansey, and you're gonna be on a very good spot. I do not recommend it, okay? I do not like Chansey trainers at all, at least at the moment. I do not have a Chansey of my own to try it out, but if you have a Chansey, use it and use all those strategies that we have just said, stall, switch, and even use a Vigoroth, so that your opponent can be on a very bad spot if they happen to use a Chansey. Well, if you have the Chansey against Chansey mirror match, well, you are both doomed, and you have to rely on the HP levels that your Chanseys might have for the end game, and just be sure that you can preserve your HP levels for the end game, because you need as many as possible alive Pokemon for the total time's up message scenario, so that you can get that really worth win. Winning against a Chansey team will never be easy, at least for the time being that Chansey is not banned at all. So Niantic really needs to get their hands on Chansey and really work upon that issue. So that's all, trainers, for today's video. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Sorry for that long-term weird introduction thing that I did, but I want to make sure that you understand the basics of how to encounter down a Chansey effectively. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Just be sure to leave a huge like, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers. Choo choo choo.